consulta del doctor Escarabajo.
La consulta del doctor Escarabajo.
La consulta del doctor Escarabajo, dígame.
La consulta del doctor Escarabajo.
La consulta del doctor Escarabajo.
La consulta del doctor Escarabajo.
La consulta
La
del doctor
consulta del doctor Escarabajo.
La consulta del doctor Escarabajo.
God had a name, what would it be? Would you call it to his face? If you were faced with him, what would you ask if you only had one question?
I don't think artists are naturally satisfied with anything that they do. I mean, I think it's because it's done. Once you've been on the road and you've toured it, you're on to the next thing. I'm always on to the next thing, and I never listen to my own music. I'm not alone here. The chance I get to hear it is when it's played on the radio, and then I'm always thrilled and relieved that it stands up and sounds great. I mean, I recently heard all the songs in my back catalogue since Emotions on a Postcard, one after the other, and I was so filled up, and again, I was so moved by the songs, because they really stood the test of time, and they were very moving, and it was incredible recordings, and the people that guested with me and played with me and produced with me, it was all an amazing journey, an amazing ride. And so I guess the answer is yes and no. I've loved what I've done, but I'm always much more excited about what's ahead, the next thing.
Oh yes, God is great. Oh.
I think I'm embracing I'm going back to my classical roots. I'm going back to, I'm in love with the piano. I'm in love with it. It's my best friend. And so I've been enjoying recording songs like One of Us that have a really very piano-heavy, spacious, really balletic quality almost. But, there is a classical feel to them. And especially with that song, I think it has the features of classical music. It's cello driven. That's the instrument you hear all the way through. This beautiful, lush, exquisite piano, and then orchestral drums, which is really, that's all there is on it. And I love that spaciousness. And I think you're seeing me now going more back towards how I started, with a really classical upbringing, with an opera singer father, being first exposed to more classical music than anything else, and then jazz. But this is really a return to that.
One of us.
Oh gosh, I have no expectations in life. I don't expect anything, and then I'm nicely surprised. I think, when I was first starting out, you have so many of your expectations crushed, and just you have so many disappointments, because that's the nature of the business. And then you have so many wonderful things happen, but they're always surprises, and they're never where you expected them. And it seems to me that I've heard this a lot of times, and I've experienced it with my career, that the time when I think, nothing's happening, nothing's whatever, that's not going, suddenly, magically, something happens that changes the game, that's a bolt of lightning that you never expected. So with a song like this, and with my music, and it's always been this way, all I know is that I have to do the thing that I do. I have to write, I have to perform, I have to put these songs out into the world. And there comes a point at which you just go, there it is. I hope people love it. I hope people love what I do and what I give. And then after that,
what would you ask?
That's kind of, the job is done. That's really it.
Oh yes, God is great. Oh,
Well, it's obviously it's a cover. Obviously, it's a cover. It doesn't actually sounds like I wrote it. I know a lot of people have said how shocked they were when they found out that it wasn't one of mine. But that's something I've become very well known for, is for taking other people's music and making it mine. And this is another one of those. I've always loved One of Us. When Joan Osborne made it a huge pop hit in the 90s, I was really moved by it, because how often do we get to hear a truly existential song that is an enormous hit in the pop world, in the commercial world? Almost never. But this is a song that questions our concept of faith, of what God is, and in my mind, it tallies with me, because I think God is in everything around us. I think this is one great God that we're on here. This is heaven on earth, and creativity and nature and life itself and this entire universe. This is God, and that's my spirituality. This is how I see it. And so I always remembered this song. And then when I was touring in Sweden, I met its writer, Eric Bazilian. We became great friends, and I said to him, I will cover that song. I love it so much. One day I will cover it. And he didn't think I would, and I did. And I basically took it to a place, I think, that has this ethereal, heaven-sent quality. And, that again is enhanced. The story is enhanced by the sound, by that classical sound, I think. And the story is simply that you look at any people you look at incredible things in life, but then you look at tiny, ordinary, mediocre, nothing things in life. They are still incredible and magical. Life itself doesn't matter how, like I said, extraordinary or simple and mediocre it is. It is an this is the gift. This is the magic. This is what's incredible. And so I feel that in this song, by saying, do you think he's, is he in a person on the bus? He's in a person who's like lost and just somebody who's like a real slob just sitting there? Is he a homeless person? Is he in the, I loved it for that reason, because there's a humanity to it that in a very, very strange way has more to do with, I think, Christian teachings, perhaps, than anybody might think. So I think this is a remarkable song.
oh yes, God is good. Oh yes.
Well, I'm just about to get back down to New Orleans, where thankfully people have been performing in street concerts and on porches, and it's a very outdoor society, because, as you understand so well, it has the weather for it, and it's a hub of, it's real center for musicians. It's an incredible place. That is the heartbeat is the music and the food, and I think that what you would expect in one of my concerts is to go on real. It's like a ride. It's a roller coaster of emotions. It's passionate music of the soul. It is really. I'm not cool. I'm not interested in just being mysterious and all this other stuff. My music is honest and real and emotional, and I sing about the things that we all go through and the things that we all struggle with in life. And so it's also very much filled with joy, because I think that the big emotions in life, tears, laughter, they are the things that we need badly. We need to laugh. We need to cry. We need to feel deep, big emotions. So I pretty much take you on a journey, a very theatrical journey that goes between the music and the stories in between, and the laughter and the fun. And it's a sense of a shared experience, because if you're in a room with me, if you're in an audience and I'm singing to you, you are in my living room. It doesn't matter how big it is, 50 people or 2,000. You're in my world, in my living room, and this is an experience of absolute intimacy and a shared experience. It's very hard to say honestly how I feel about it at this point, because of course I haven't traveled for so long, and part of my joy in being a touring musician is hearing the music in different cultures and different societies, and hearing all those flavors. I listen to as much music as I possibly can, and I think I probably hear more than most, but I try and I try and be expansive. I listen to music from all over Europe, of course, from my homeland in Britain. I listen to, you know, music from France and Italy and Spain and everywhere else in between, and Mexico and Australia, and Brazil, of course, and South America. I listen to it all. Funnily enough, it all seems to come together in New Orleans, where there's so many different people from different places that you actually get to have this very expansive understanding of music. But I believe that right now there's probably an awful lot of people like me absolutely desperate to get out and to play and to be alive. I have no doubt that the scene is going to be fine, but we're all just like, let me out. You know, there's all my friends in France feel, you know, everyone I talk to feels the same way, but it'll be back. It'll be okay.
Do you remember the 21st night of September?
My future plans go like this. No one knows when we can really go back out on the road. That's, you know, I've been doing a twice weekly streamed show called FFS, that you can see, I think it's in Mexico, it's 4 p.m. Live every Wednesday and Sunday. And I've done that because I needed to connect with my audience. I needed to still be able to have that sense of community and sharing. And it's been an amazing thing. And I've done over 100 shows now since March 20th, good grief, of last year. But should we all be able to actually tour and move and leave? And none of us know really, because we're waiting to see if there's a spike and what happens. But I will slowly, like I said, I'll be playing in New Orleans, but I will slowly start to come back. Maybe this fall I'll do some shows on the East Coast, West Coast. I'll do a Christmas show. Then beginning of next year, I've got a few things set up ready. Might be Australia. Could well be a tour up the Danube with an amazing artist called Richard Thompson, who's a mentor of mine and a remarkable musician. And then I also expect to be very busy with a musical. It's actually very classical. It's almost an opera, somewhere between opera and musical and ballet, that I'm writing and have been really producing for the last few years. So I'm expecting there to be a natural mix between the world of, you know, my jazz influenced, you know, commercial music, as it were, and then this stage presence, this theater presence. But I will be releasing more singles as it goes on, live performances. I've filmed a few shows, without, you know, actually with a small audience, but I've got those ready to actually start putting out as well. And I think that the next collection will be ready, I would say. There'll be a few more singles this year, and then to come out probably at the beginning of next year. It's becoming an absolute behemoth because, of course, I'm writing so much with these streamed shows. So, you know, and I had an EP called The Here and Now that came out as well last year. So there's an awful lot of material that I have. Half of it's mine, half of it's covers. It'll probably be called Both Things Are True, because they both are. And ultimately, that's how I see life.
My thoughts are with you, holding hands.
I hope we don't go back to who we used to be. I mean that seriously. I hope that we don't just instantly like that return to being people who have forgotten what values are and what shame is. And that actually we don't need to know everybody's absolute lives and every single piece of information about them and their surgeries and everything and their this and that, and we don't need to see them giving birth, live. We don't need that. What we need is quality. What we need is to remember, and I think COVID has reminded us all of what counts. This planet, this world, the people we love, human beings. And but all of us, every animal, every creature on this planet, and that the things that are precious are those small things that we take so much for granted. But of course we were without them. And I haven't been home back to see my sister in Britain for 14 months, and it's painful for me. That is a luxury now. These are the things that we take so for granted. I have a fear that we might just catapult straight back to what was before, because that is our way. And yet I am given hope by the things that are changing because of George Floyd, for example, because of the inherent racism in this country in which I live, in America, because there are changes afoot. Right now, I don't know what it's like in the rest of the world, but I see people coming back out behaving really badly because they're exploding with like a pressure cooker from being held down and having to be careful and cautious. And I'm hoping that will calm down and that we don't just go straight back to those people that we used to be. I'm hoping I cannot be. I'm hoping others won't be. I can't speak for anybody else, but I think COVID gave us pain, anxiety, and it gave us some gifts and some very important reminders. Hi everyone, this is Judith Owen here, and you're seeing me on Historias Grabiosonas. Please listen to my new single, One of Us, and follow me on all social media. You know the ones, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. I can't wait to see you all again. Take care. See you soon.